Good morning, folks at home, and welcome to the maiden edition of our program, Borbda And U. For the benefit of those who don't know what Borbda is Benin Owena River Basin Development Authority, NU. Now, when you hear of Benin Owena River Basin, it talks about water. Water comes to mind. So today we're going to attempt to look at, the efforts of governments in ensuring that we have potable water to drink and a host of other issues surrounding water and Nigerians. Fortunately, today we have in the studios the MD of Benin Owena River Basin Development Authority. So he's going to be throwing light on a couple of issues that have to do with water in Edo State and their catchment areas. So join me as we welcome Engineer Saliu Ahmed. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I like to call myself Saliu Osifoime Ahmed.
Oh, beautiful. Okay,
that's a story for another day.
Okay. So welcome, sir. Now let's hit it running. Let's start from the very beginning. What is Borbda all about?
Yeah, Borbda, which is a short form of Benin Owena River Basin Development Authority, is one of the 12 river basin development authorities in Nigeria.
Okay.
And in that regard, Borbda specifically covers the states of Edo, Ondo, Ekiti, and the Northern Senatorial District of Delta State.
Okay.
This is a landmass of over 40,000 square kilometers and serving a population of over 10 million people. Like all the river basin development authorities, Borbda is an agency of the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, which is charged with the responsibility of managing all water and water-related issues within its catchment states. In this respect, we develop, we conserve, we maintain, and of course make water available for all uses that water serves. As you know, water is often referred to as life because of the immense impact it has, on the survival of man and animals. In that regards, I think next to air is water.
Yes.
But water has to be carefully managed so that access to it is guaranteed for everyone. If you say access to water is a human right, you would actually not be wrong. You will be correct to describe water as a human right. Therefore, government and its agencies have a responsibility to promote equal access to water. Water serves so many uses beyond potable uses that we do in our homes for drinking and for cooking. Water also serves so many other uses, either for agriculture. Without water, there can be no food.
Sure.
And water also serves for industrial purposes, or practically all the industrial purposes. All industrial purposes depend on water, either in their operations or even the lubrication of their machines and processes. Water serves for tourism. So many. Water practically plays a role in all aspects of human life. Even for transportation, there's water transportation and all of that. So the Benin Owena River Basin Development Authority has the responsibility for managing the water resources both on the surface and below the surface, subsurface, underground.
Okay.
What some people might want to describe as boreholes.
Okay.
for the purposes of providing equal access to everybody. Within our catchment states, we've been doing this for nearly 4 decades that the river basins have existed, even though there have been some hiccups in policy, which has affected the impact of the authority. But nonetheless, and over the last 4 years, under the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari and our minister, who himself is a water engineer, Engineer Suleiman Hussein Adamu, all the river basins have been refocused, to the main mandate, of water and rural infrastructure.
Okay, I'll come in there, sir. Since you've talked about water and its immense uses, I just want to draw your attention, to a particular area, irrigation. We know that, for example, agriculture, one of the hallmarks or one of the major focus of this administration is food sufficiency for Nigerians. And we know that particularly in the northern zone, even, the northern part of Edo State here, the issue of rainfall, constant water is a challenge. So irrigation, is supposed to come to play here. How is your agency, interfacing in this area?
Well, thank you. Just a quick one too. Water is a challenge everywhere, as far as its impact on agriculture is concerned.
Okay.
Because even in the rainy season, if you plant and you have a 1 week dry spell, it can have immense impact on your crops. So irrigation plays a great role in ensuring food security for a people, and especially for our country, Nigeria. So we also have a mandate to promote the provision of irrigation infrastructure and to promote the best practices for irrigation to help people to produce food all year round. In our catchment states, we do have a couple of dams, like the Ogwashuku Dam in Delta North Senatorial District of Delta State, the Uhun Dam close to Ekboma in Edo State, the Owena Multipurpose Dam in Igbaraoke, Ondo State.
So are all these dams you mentioned, are they functional?
Yes, they are.
Wow.
They're functional to the extent that there is an impoundment of water, but they are not functional. There's no irrigation activity from the bulk water that has been impounded, which is where I'm getting around to. In Ekiti, we also have the Oye Ayede Dam, which exists, but the extent of use of the water that has been impounded over the years to promote all year round food production through irrigation is not as should be. So what we in the authority have been doing, we've done basically all the studies to be able to get water from the Ogwashuku Dam downstream to irrigate about 3,000 hectares of farmland. At the Owena Multipurpose Dam, we've also completed a study that will see us being able to irrigate over 5,000 hectares of land downstream from the impoundment of water. But quite honestly, the irrigation infrastructure are not in place yet. So what we have resorted to doing is at the Owena Multipurpose Dam in Ondo State, we have cleared about 100 hectares of land, and there we're going to be deploying 2 center pivot irrigation system, which would abstract water from the bulk water in the dam and irrigate. For us, we don't mind starting small, and we believe that gradually we'll be able to get to where we want to be, where we will begin to irrigate as much as 3,000 hectares. It's a journey we've started, and we are committed. Around us at our headquarters in Obayanto in Benin City here, we've recently also abstracted water from the underground boreholes, because we around Benin here, you can get very prolific borehole sources, and we are covering an area of about 20 hectares, to start with. We believe that if we are able to make that expanse of land productive all year round for different crops, then we would be contributing our own quota, to providing or to ensuring our national food sovereignty, as a people. Our president emphasizes that we grow what we eat, and we eat what we grow. Given the size of our population, we must feed. So quite honestly, if we produce all year round, I do not even think that we can even, it will be enough for us to consume. But even if we consume and we have surpluses, our neighboring countries are there. We have what it takes. We've got a weather that is clement, so to speak. We've got arable lands in all parts of this country, and we just need, to identify what each area is best at, and abstract the natural resources like water available, and put it to the best use so that food availability can be assured.
Okay. Please, sorry, I would also like you to just look at this. I heard somewhere that these boreholes, could lead to what do you call it, earthquakes,
ground subsidence,
and all that stuff. Please, can you educate us on that?
Well, yes, it's true. Unmitigated abstraction of groundwater could have some impact, on the earth crust. It is true, and that is why, as a river basin development authority under the Federal Ministry of Water Resources, in fact, the Federal Minister of Water Resources has been pushing for a regulation of boreholes sinking. Remember, I had said that everybody has a right to water. But what you find lately is that certain people are even polluting the underground water from certain practices that they're doing. From industrial processes, they are emptying their waste into the groundwater and all of that. That is a danger for everybody. So it is true that unmitigated abstraction of groundwater could have, over time, adverse effect, on the stability of the earth surface, and that is why we are pushing that there should be some kind of regulation. There should be some kind of certification, even for those who drill the boreholes, because it's not an all-comers game. Everybody does not have the expertise to drill the right size or to the right depth, of hole. You also find that certain people also drill boreholes close to their soakaway or their septic tanks, not conscious, because even on the ground there's a gradient, so water flows along a certain gradient. So if you go drill a borehole, for instance, on the downstream side of your soakaway, there's a chances that the water from the borehole will be contaminated from effluents from such a soakaway without your knowing it. So quite frankly, there is a need for regulation of even the borehole drilling.
Okay, fine. So thank you very much, sir. Let's come back to Borbda. The program, like you can see, is Borbda And U. Can you tell us what are your activities within your catchment area here, Borbda?
Thank you.
Besides the water, that you have so eloquently talked about, what are the other areas that Borbda is interfacing with the people?
Thank you very much. First and foremost, maybe I should state that Borbda is headquartered in Edo State, Nabayanto, Benin City. Okay. But in each of the 4 states that we cover, we also maintain area offices. The idea behind citing these area offices is to move the authority much closer, to the people, to be able to understand what the needs are and work to meet the needs. Water is our principal mandate. So over the years, we have done our bit to try and bring water to a number of communities across these 4 states. We do this in a number of ways. Some communities, depending on their size, can do with a fairly sized borehole with a provision for pumping and to meet the needs of the people. Some other so we do have a number of boreholes. In fact, over the last 4 years, I'm sure we have done over 1,000.
Wow.
Yes, across our 4 catchment states.
Wow, that's great.
To meet the needs of various communities. But in addition to that, for larger sized communities, larger towns, borehole sources are grossly inadequate to meet their needs, which is why 20 years ago, the dam in Owena that I talked about, the Owena multipurpose dam, was constructed. From that dam, water is supposed to get to, Akure, Ondo, Owo, and all the communities that abound around that axis. Although there's a treatment plant, the processes of getting the water from the treatment plant to the people has only just started, with a commitment by the Ondo state government, to running the mains, the distribution mains, to bring the water out to the people. That's on one side. In the northern part of Edo State, in Otuo, Borbda, 4 years ago, in 2017 precisely, started the construction of an earth dam. The purpose of the dam is to be able to give water to about 300,000 people, in Otuo and Ikao, and all the people, in between those 2 towns. This dam is at about 60% completion at the moment, and all aspects of the project are ongoing, from the dam itself to the pipe network. Over 2 kilometers of pipeline have been constructed to date. The treatment plant is already constructed, although waiting for the electromechanical equipment. There are supposed to be 3 clear water tanks, each with a capacity of about 1,100 cubic meters.
Whoa.
2 of them have been completed. One has just is at its foundation stage. And the good thing about the dam in Otuo, the water scheme in Otuo, is the fact that it is going to be powered from solar. And not from generator. The essence of that is that we realize that the power component of running water schemes is very, very expensive, and that most of our urban water schemes had collapsed over the years because of that challenge. So even where you have generators, because generators must be very large, they probably use up to 200 to 300 liters of diesel, in just a few hours. So the challenge had been ensuring, that constant power supply. Of course, you need power to run all the pumps, from the dam and all of that. So the project in Otuo is ongoing, and like I said, overall, it's an average of about 60% completed at the moment. We have also recently completed a study on the Auchi, we call it holistic study for Auchi regional water scheme.
All right. Look at this man. Okay, you go.
Where you for the concept?
My brother, I just quick go poo for that corner there.
This is your bad habit. You have not stopped it. Everywhere you they go, because they call you Papa Timo, you are molding it everywhere.
Papa Timo, this kind thing when you do just now bad well. Now so some people they poo for cellophane, rubber container for inside their shop and office, come throw away and forgot or nearby bush. Everywhere go come they smell. When rain come for, you go come wash out for the road where our children they pass or even where they play.
Papa, mama, pikin, where be say then they live for hostels, where no get better toilet. That one not be excuse. So they do one for ordinary ground or put on for cellophane paper, throw away am for anywhere. Because all these things get a health and environmental implication. And they talk and say, make we use toilet and keep Nigeria clean.
This message is powered by Engineer Saliu Ahmed, MD CEO, Benin Owena River Basin Development Authority, Benin City.
Welcome back from the break. Sir, well, back to you. Please, can you take it up from where we stopped?
Yes, Borbda has also recently completed a holistic design, for water supply, or what we call Awuchi Regional Water Supply Scheme. That is going to see us construct a dam within Awuchi with about 70 million cubic meters holding capacity to provide water, for over 600,000 persons. Projected population in the next 20 years. For those who know that area, as far as to Ayogwiri is on the way to Fuga, as far as to Agbede on the way to Benin from Awuchi, and as far as to just before Ekperi, and the idea of this is that this dam is going to provide raw water that will be treated and of course pumped, to service the entire Awuchi metropolitan, the core of Awuchi town, as well as all the neighboring communities in the directions I just described. Also, we have also completed a design and, as a matter of fact, started construction for another dam just north of Awuchi in Jatu. But this is a much smaller dam and is going to service the entire people in the Uzairi kingdom of Edo State. So these are part of our efforts at meeting the water needs of our people. Let me also add that maybe this is one aspect people often don't know. Dams also serve the purpose of flood control. Yeah, because whenever it rains, although we are not a water scarce nation in Nigeria, but we are still losing a lot of our water resources. So you find that when it rains and there's flood everywhere, it's actually loss of a key resource, water. So if we find a way, to preserve them when there is abundance, then in moments of scarcity, you can use them, for all the purposes that water serves. May I also add that Borbda is also very active in the area of the integrated farm Songhai model.
Okay, great.
In this respect, and based on the charge by our Honorable Minister, that we make efforts to set up a minimum of at least one integrated farm Songhai model. What's an integrated farm?